Britt, thank you. Today, Indiana lawmakers will meet beginning a special session to talk about some big-time issues, of course, inflation relief and restrictions on abortion. This morning, political expert and legal expert Abdul Hakim Shabazz joins us this morning to talk about what we're expecting to see, not just today, but in the weeks to come. Abdul, good morning. Thanks for being with us. We all know,
a pleasure, my friend.
We all know abortion is top of the agenda right now. The bill states, as it is now, that a woman who receives an illegal abortion would not face charges or penalties herself. So there's been a question out there about enforcement and how this could be enforced once whatever it is in place. What do you hear about that side of things, possible penalties for violating it?
Oh, that has always been a very touchy, tricky subject for Republicans, particularly Republicans in the legislature. You've got sort of the hardcore, ideological pro-life people saying there should be penalties, that doctors should go to jail. Anyone who helps a woman get an abortion should go to jail. Lawmakers decided against that, and what they did was there are no criminal penalties for the woman, and a doctor or medical professional who assists in that abortion can lose their medical license, but that's about it. Now, obviously, this is sort of the first step in the process. Got a long way to go until the middle of August, when lawmakers are technically scheduled to end the special session. So we'll have to see what happens. But right now, there are no criminal penalties, and that has a lot of the hardcore pro-life people really upset right now.
And we've heard from doctors, too, and other medical professionals about what will constitute a medical emergency for the mother. It seems like we could be headed toward a very detailed medical debate on abortion and when it could be deemed necessary. I mean, how much are we all going to have to study up on medical terms just to be familiar with this debate?
Well, I always get nervous when lawmakers practice law, because I'm also an attorney, so I can imagine how my doctor friends feel when lawmakers try to practice medicine. It's going to be a rough, tough road to hoe, because a lot of it's going to be subject to interpretation. For example, the bill doesn't necessarily say that the abortion where the mother's life is endangered, and that substantially impedes or impacts the mother's life, which could be childbirth. So it could be anything. So lawmakers have to really sit down and really go through the weeds and really dig out and flesh out what these details mean. They got basically 3 weeks to do it.
They're also going to be discussing plans for inflation relief for Hoosiers, and there are some clear, obviously stark, big differences between the governor's plan for that and the one proposed by Republicans at the State House. What do you make of this, what seems to be another example of a gap or a disconnect between the governor and members of his own party?
This doesn't surprise me at all, because during the last budget session, Republican lawmakers and the governor had sort of different opinions on how things should take place. What's interesting in the Republican proposal is that it takes about $500 million and pays down a bunch of our teacher pension debt, which to me is actually a big thing, because when you pay off debts like paying off your credit cards, you free up money for other things and for other programs. Also, Republicans wanted to target their inflation relief to folks not only who pay taxes in Indiana, but folks who don't pay taxes who live here, senior citizens on Social Security, disability, that sort of thing. But once again, lawmakers have 3 weeks. They're in negotiations right now. The House has decided to go with the governor's plan to give Hoosiers that extra $225 in tax relief. So we'll see what happens. But once again, this is how the legislative process works. The governor proposes, the legislature has ideas, and they sit down and hammer it out behind closed doors.
And of course, Vice President Kamala Harris will be in town for this special session meeting with members of the Democratic caucus. How much impact could that have on this process? And would you expect at some point to see Republicans bring out a nationally known name to sort of for their side?
Not necessarily, because this is pretty much a state issue. Because Indiana is sort of the first state, the first legislature to actually take up the abortion issue. This is why Indiana is sort of different than other states. I think the vice president sort of helps their Democratic base, by sort of getting people motivated. But at the end of the day, this is still going to be a lawmaker decision, regardless of what happens at the national level. But I do say, because Indiana is the first state, my friend, this is the vice president, sort of the first big national figure to show up, and I would not be surprised if other national figures start to show up over the course of the next 3 weeks. But right now she's just basically helping her base by keeping them motivated.
And last question, sort of quickly here. I've asked you this before. Does this get done in 30 days when it's technically supposed to?
It'll start. This issue is going to be going on for a while, because in lots of laws there are lots of things that need to be changed over time, and the lawmakers are back in January, so I would not be surprised, my friend.
All right, Abdul, thanks so much for joining us this morning. Much more to come, and it all technically officially gets underway today. We'll have updates on our website throughout the day as well about the special session getting underway throughout the day. Much more coverage to come, and at fox59.com.